This entire episode is going to be described under the hook because it's almost entirely one twist after another twist after another twist. And when the sky was opened, it's about three astronauts who return from a space mission only to discover that reality itself is unraveling around them. The story follows Colonel Clegg Forbes, Major Gart Williams, and Captain Donlin, who crash land after a test flight into space. They're initially celebrated as heroes, but something feels deeply wrong. There are vague gaps in their memories and an unsettling sense that parts of their experience are missing or being erased. Shortly after their return, strange events begin to occur. Captain Donlin suddenly disappears without explanation. Even more disturbing, no one except Forbes and Williams remembers that he ever existed. His name is gone from records, photographs, and people's memories, as if he had never been part of the mission at all. As Forbes struggles to understand what's happening, Major Williams also begins to vanish in the same inexplicable way. Reality seems to be correcting itself, erasing the astronauts one by one as though they were never meant to return from space in the first place. Forbes is now left alone, increasingly terrified as he realizes that he may be next. Eventually, he too begins to fade from existence. Those around him lose recognition of who he is, and he is literally erased from time and memory. The episode ends with the implication that the astronauts disturbed something beyond human understanding during their flight, something that has caused them to be systematically removed from reality itself. Like many stories in the Twilight Zone, it uses science fiction to explore existential dread, the fragility of existence, and the terrifying idea that a person's entire life can be undone as if it never happened. Rod Taylor was an Australian American actor, best known for his leading roles in classic 1960s and 1970s film and television, as well as his strong presence in science fiction and thriller genres. Born in 1930 in Sydney, Australia, Taylor initially trained in art and worked in radio and theater before shifting fully into acting. He gained early experience in Australian radio drama and stage productions, which helped him develop the strong voice and confident screen presence he later became known for. He moved to Hollywood in the mid 1950s, where he began appearing in supporting film roles before quickly rising to leading man status. Taylor became internationally famous for starring as H.G. Wells' time traveling hero in The Time Machine 1960, and for his role as Alfred Hitchcock's suspense classic The Birds. He also worked across genres, appearing in romantic comedies, westerns, and action films through the 1960s. In television, Taylor was a frequent guest star and lead actor in several series. He was also known for bringing grounded everyman quality to dramatic roles. Later in his career, Taylor continued working steadily in film and television, including roles in series like Falcon Crest and Murder, She Wrote. And he remained active in the 2000s. One of his final notable appearances was as Winston Churchill in Quentin Tarantino's Inglourious Basterds in 2009. He died in 2015 at the age of 84, leaving behind a long career marked by versatility and enduring recognition in both film and television. Jim Hutton was an American actor known for his work in film and television during the 1960s and 1970s. Born in Binghamton, Binghamton, New York, Hutton grew up in a working class family and originally planned a career in journalism before turning to acting. After serving in the U.S. Army, he studied drama and began working in theater and television in the late 1950s. Hutton gained attention in Hollywood for his tall, easygoing presence and natural, slightly offbeat charm. He appeared in films such as The Green Berets alongside John Wayne and Where the Boys Are, where he played youthful, likable supporting roles. He also starred in the TV series Ellery Queen from 1975 to 1976, playing the amateur detective along with David Wayne. In television, he was a frequent guest star across many popular series and also appeared in the anthology series, including The Twilight Zone. Despite his success, Hutton's career was cut short when he died unexpectedly in 1979 at the age of 45. He's remembered for his relaxed screen presence and for bringing a modern, understated style to his roles during the era. Charles Aidman was an American stage, film, and television actor whose career spanned from the 1950s through the 1990s. Born in 1925 in Frankfort, Indiana, he served in the U.S. Navy during World War II before studying at Indiana University and later training in acting. He began his career in theater and early live television before moving into steady work in Hollywood. Aidman became a prolific character actor known for his strong, authoritative voice and his ability to play a wide range of roles in dramas, westerns, and science fiction. He appeared frequently in major TV series of the era, including Gunsmoke, The Fugitive, and The Wild Wild West, including many others. He's especially well remembered for his work in The Twilight Zone, where he was in When the Sky Was Opened, and which he played Colonel Harrington, and in Little Girl Lost. His performance fit the show's style of grounded realism, helping to sell more surreal and science fiction concepts. Later in his career, Aidman also became the narrator for the 1980s revival of The Twilight Zone, replacing Rod Serling's original narration role for the part in the series. This made him one of the few actors directly connected to both versions of the franchise. He continued acting steadily in film and television until retiring, and he passed away in 1993. He's remembered as a reliable and versatile character actor whose work appeared across many television classic series. This was Jim Hutton's TV debut. In the bar, retrospective at about 9 minutes in, the beer in the glasses suddenly changes from half head to nearly full glasses with barely any head. Rod Serling wrote a scene for the crash landing of the spaceship in the original script, but it was determined to be too expensive to film. The script was subsequently modified, and the crash was described in Mr. Serling's opening dialogue. Although not in the script, Douglas Haynes told Rod Taylor to jump through the bar window because he felt his character was in such a fevered pitch, it only made sense. Rod Serling saw the scene and liked it enough to approve the change. Rod Serling wrote the character Forbes was terrified throughout, but Douglas Hayes suggested the sensation of being pulled from existence should be euphoric. Regarding the relatively quick disappearance of Jim Hutton's Gart at the end of the film, Rod Serling explained in a lecture that without his fellow astronauts to anchor him to this world, he had no way of hiding it. It furthered the idea that Rod Taylor's Forbes denial kept him in the world longer, and having heard the story of Harrington's disappearance and seeing Forbes taken out, he had no way of denying the possibility. When Lieutenant Colonel Forbes feels like he's disappearing, he looks in the mirror and supposedly has no reflection. However, you can clearly see a reflection of his arm in the mirror as the scene progresses. My final thoughts. I absolutely love this episode of The Twilight Zone. It's one of my favorite episodes of the entire series. I'll watch it and rewatch it and rewatch it just to see how things tie together. It's such a complex and mind blowing episode to watch. And seeing all the nuances give it a bone chilling reality to a very unreal story. The acting, outstanding. The direction, perfect. I definitely give this one a 5 out of 5.